What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, and as I've been searching eBay the past week or two, I've noticed some certain graded cards that have been doing very well, considering the set has been so-so, not as well received as others in the Scarlet and Violet series. I am, of course, talking about Temporal Forces, and some of the graded card prices that I've been seeing in auction I wanted to share with you today. So today, we'll be counting down the top 10 most expensive graded cards from Temporal Forces. There are several very notable illustration rares, special illustration rares, and full art trainer cards that fetch a premium price. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Please give this video a like, and please consider being a subscriber to support the channel and help me get to 30,000 subs. I would greatly appreciate it. So I have to say, this is a relatively new set, so the pop reports aren't completely blown up quite yet, but it still makes for an interesting video. Let's get started off with the number 10 most expensive graded card from this set. It is the Iron Boulder EX Special Illustration Rare that in PSA 10 has most recently sold for $125.50. I don't really have much to say about this card. It's a pretty cool design. It's a future type Pokemon, and it's the number 10 most expensive on our list. Coming in number 9 most expensive would be the Gouging Fire EX Special Illustration Rare. This is the Ancient Entei, if you will, that is recently sold as a PSA 10 for about $132 when you combine the shipping cost. And out of the 3 legendary beasts that they redesigned for this set, this one is my least favorite compared to the other 2. This is number 9 most expensive overall. Coming in number 8, we have our very first Gengar card. This is the ultra rare full art Gengar EX that in PSA 10 has sold in auction for about $165. And I was kind of upset that this set did not give an exclusive Gengar special illustration rare. But still, this full art copy, not doing too bad as a PSA 10, is the number 8 most expensive in this set. Coming in number 7 is our first full art trainer in Bianca's Devotion Special Illustration Rare that in PSA 10 has sold for about $189. Definitely a very bright and colorful trainer card. This Bianca's Devotion is the number 7 most expensive in this set. Coming in number 6 most expensive is another trainer card. It's the Special Illustration Rare Morty's Conviction, featuring the Gengar on it as well. In PSA 10 has sold in auction about a week ago for $355, but more recently has sold for around $207. And like I said, folks, if this would have been a Gengar exclusive illustration rare, I think this would be the number 1 most expensive card in the set, but it's technically a full art trainer, so it's the number 6 most expensive as of right now. Coming in at number 5, we have the Iron Leaves EX Special Illustration Rare that in PSA 10 has sold in auction for about $212. Not much really to say about this card, except that it's the number 5 most expensive. On to the number 4 most expensive, it is the Raging Bolt EX Special Illustration Rare, otherwise known as the Ancient Raikou variant. In PSA 10 has sold in auction for about $227.50. And if you are into giraffes or dinosaurs, then I guess you're really gonna like this card. This is the number 5 most expensive in the set. Getting down to the final 3, we have my favorite card in the set. It is the Illustration Rare Ghastly that in PSA 10 has sold for about $270 in auction. And what is not to love about this card? The character of it is totally maxed out with all the Gengars, Haunters, and Ghastlies roaming the streets, and it is the number 3 most expensive in this set. The number 2 most expensive graded card and the most valuable of the legendary beasts would have to be the Walking Wake EX Special Illustration Rare that is sold as a PSA 10 for about $300. And it seems like no matter what set they're in, between the Entei, Suicune, and Raikou, Suicune is always the most expensive. This is the number 2 most expensive overall. Before we get to the number 1 most expensive card on our list today, let's go over a couple of honorable mention sales. Here we have an Ace Spec Trainer Master Ball card in PSA 10 that sold in auction for about $60. Here is an ultra rare Walking Wake EX in PSA 10 that sold for about $76. Here we have an illustration rare Lickitung in PSA 10 that sold for about $53. Here is a reverse hollow Fluttermane as a PSA 10, sold for about $57. Here is a hyper rare Iron Crown EX card in PSA 10 that sold for about $63. Here is a Runiclus, not sure how to pronounce it, illustration rare in PSA 10 that sold for about $77. Here is a regular Gengar EX that sold for about $86 in auction. And then last but not least is this illustration rare Drampa that sold for about $102.51. Which leads me to the number 1 most expensive card in this entire set, whether it's graded or raw. It is the Iron Crown Special Illustration Rare that in PSA 10 has sold for 360 big ones. Now, by the time you watch this video, I'm sure a majority of these cards, including this Iron Crown EX, will go down in value, but $360, not too bad for being first to market. That's all I got for you folks. Leave a comment below letting me know what you think of this set. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I'll catch you all in my next one.